So I want to gather ideas for my kitchen, trying to optimize my kitchen, and we're just going to walk through IKEA, gather some ideas. It's going to be a experience type video. I mean, I don't have any ideas. I'm just kind of going in live and seeing what we find out here. So let's go ahead and get started. I went straight to one of my favorite kitchen setups here. It was interesting to see how many Zoom like prop laptops were kind of put all over the place. But we do have a kitchen island peninsula area, and it does have an overhang, so I do want to see how far I want my overhang to be. This one's set to be 12 inches. I don't really like it. 12 inches seems to be very common all over the IKEA, demo areas. I keep bumping my knees into it, so I don't really love it. And for reference, I'm average height, about 5'10". But anyways, I did notice that we did have some room to spare. So I think I'd add about 2 inches. I could probably go all the way to 15 inches total, but I think 14 might be my new minimum. So it's either going to be 14 or 15. Moving on to some soft close cabinet doors. I love soft close cabinet doors. I probably looked crazy throughout the whole store. This is just what we captured on camera. I did this probably 1,000 times. It's an amazing thing. So, and I think IKEA is all Bloom hardware, which is really good. It's apparently the best in the business, and I think IKEA would be a good bet in terms of hardware. Another tip that I wanted to provide is I do pace off my dimensions when I go into kitchens. This one was about 6 steps, as you see, and it just gives you a good reference. You can go home and just kind of pace off sizes as well. Opening up this blind corner cabinet, this was interesting for me. I have a blind corner cabinet, and as you can see, I wasn't impressed with this at all. It's squeaky, it's janky, kind of flimsy. I think there's other brands out there. I don't know which. Oh, geez, I don't know which, but I probably won't go with the IKEA blind corner cabinet solution. And it's cool because these demos have a lot of people flowing through there. I like to think that it simulates tons of use in a short order because I'm sure these are getting opened and closed by hundreds of people every day. And you can see right away there was a lot of wear and tear. And yeah, oh man, these soft close drawers are awesome. Anyways, moving on. I did want to check out these other drawers. I just started to look for inserts, accessories, ideas, anything that I can look for on how I would maybe add this to my kitchen. I did notice that under the sink, you do see the face of your sink or your sink. So you got to be mindful of that. If you get one of those, you might have to paint it. This under cabinet bin, I was unimpressed. It didn't have the soft close feature, and I think for 33 bucks, it's still worth it. But I think I can build one for cheaper, or at least something that I prefer to use. I do really love these dishwasher panel. You can cover it up and it looks super clean. Another thing I noticed about the cabinets is that they are a 6 component compartment configuration, right? So everything is in 1/6 of the height, and we'll talk about that more a little bit later. But these ones didn't have too many accessories inside. It did have this divider, which is pretty basic. It's just one side, and I kind of knew about that already. Let's go see if we can find other stuff. These are the bamboo wood looking inserts. I don't know if I love them. I mean, they're hard to beat for the price, but you can see here this one's already kind of cracked. The thing with IKEA though is that it's all cheap, so they're worth it if you're not looking to build one, and you're gonna get the use for what you spend. Likely, I'll probably build my own. Now, these other cabinets are pretty cool. I like that they are inset inside of the box as opposed to its own little door. And then I noticed on this one down here, it bumps and rubs a little bit. So plan for that, right? Kind of give yourself maybe a 1/4 inch if you're gonna butt it up right against your fridge. This box thing's kind of cool. I liked it. I didn't really get it at first. It felt super flimsy, and I didn't really give it its best chance. But you do got to push it down and clip it, and it does hold it. So I like it. I think it'll probably be on the short list of things to really check if I need it. But I like it. And I tell you what, these soft close drawers, they're cool. This box thing is kind of cool. I don't know what it would be for. Maybe something that you kind of have as like a tote that you just take outside or have condiments ready to roll if you gotta, bring it back to the table, back and forth. I don't know. But I do like that it's angled. The angles are the same on each side, so you can put it in each whichever way you want, and kind of fits in there quite nice. So that made the list too. Adjacent to this kitchen was a laundry room. Of course, it's not a laundry room video, but do stay tuned. I got a laundry room that needs some work too, so we'll do some videos there. But still on the hunt for some more accessories. I think the tip here is know that there are two different sizes. These two left ones are wider than the little narrow one on the right. And when I did open up this other cabinet, I did notice that it does have a surround to it. So I think the inside box is its own box, and then there's trim pieces on the outside. So it kind of recesses the door into the panel, which is really cool. I was always going to have ours be white anyway, so I didn't realize that was a thing, but I'm sure it's like that for all of the other colors and different finishes, if you will. This pull-out door seemed cool online. I will tell you this right now, I didn't love it. It's not smooth. It didn't fully close all the way. You can see I'm struggling to like push it in and keep it in. It's most likely that it's unlevel and it's sliding towards me. But it didn't even have this cool soft close features that clearly I'm obsessed with. So I don't love it. I'll probably just keep this off of my short list. The handles at Ikea, I don't know. You'll see here this leather one might seem cool. I didn't love how it was already kind of flimsy and loose. I'm not a wine guy, so that doesn't apply to me. This one I actually thought there was 365 plus different container types, but it was just a brand name. They only have a handful, which is a bummer. But either way, the containers were really nice. I don't know if I'll get circular ones. I think it'll maximize space if I get rectangular or square ones. But I did think it was pretty cool that they did have rubber seals for how cheap they were. This bowl actually, it seemed cool, but it seemed so wobbly because look at that tiny foot. I don't know, maybe not for me. This kitchen was the next demo area. I liked it a lot. I probably will lean towards a white kitchen, and this one's a lot bigger than ours. I do like that there is this kind of computer nook area. The takeaway that I would say is storage where your knees would hit. Even if it's thin and shallow, like 4 inches, I'll take it. Right? You can fit chargers, cables, everything where you can kind of pin it up against that storage area. So it's good. Another area that I figured would be good real estate to take advantage of is this little slot above the fridge. I don't know how or where, but I do think it could at least fit like a pull-out drawer or something. I don't know, something to think of. This is optimizing experience, and the whole idea is to really maximize the limited space that we have, see what we can do. Now, during this demo area, what I did realize is the stuff was lit, which was like literally lit. And I assume it's controlled by this light sensor where if it gets dark enough, it turns off, if it senses light or kicks on. I don't know, but it's definitely that sensor. And I love it. I plan on lighting up all of my cabinets. Now this thing that's a corner spinny like Lazy Susan for the upper cabinets, I did not like it. I like to just close my cabinets without thinking about it. If you have a glass one, like you see here, you'll see that it actually taps the glass or bumps into the glass. So if you didn't have it lined up and you're like me, maybe you close it a little bit fast. I know there's soft close, but still, I just don't like that. It could potentially shatter if you closed it and pushed on it or something. But it really only applies to the glass, I guess. Speaking of the doors, this is something I was always curious about. Now, MDF doesn't do this, but IKEA does have a birch option. And you can see here that it actually has some flex to it, or some warping, which I don't know. So I'll have to do some more research, maybe look into that. We'll see. Another thing that I wasn't a fan of were these really narrow ledges to grab onto with the soft close hardware. It would have been way easier to just get a handle because it's super slippy. The other thing that I was curious about was this bump to open that I saw on the internet before coming in. It's pretty cool. I think it's worked, really smooth. It worked really well. You saw that I used my foot, but really it only takes a tiny little poke and it kicks it all the way out. And their little arm kind of pushes it out there. The only downside here is it probably won't fit my house. Not from a dimension standpoint, but I got little kids. They'll play with this nonstop. So Unfortunately, this won't be in the Optimize and Experience house just because we got little tots. But cool stuff, not gonna lie. This is actually a topic I was super curious about coming into this. It's the cabinets that sit on top of the counter, which apparently the backsplash kind of butts up against. I don't know if they did a good job there, but I've always wondered about this. I was thinking of getting a cabinet that goes from the base all the way up, but this one kind of sits back a little bit away from the counter ledge. And it does have a cool, unique look to it. I think it does provide quite a bit of storage. The only thing that I'm hesitant about, and man, it looks really good, is that you really do lose quite a bit of like space, right? When I'm measuring this, you lose dimensionally whatever distance back from the edge of the counter, multiplied by the drawer height, the drawer depth, and the drawer width, if you will, for that volume of storage. It's a cooler look. I can't deny that one bit, but I don't know if it's worth the sacrifice of losing that amount of space. And if you did catch that measurement earlier, it was about 9.5 inches set back from the lip of the counter, which is quite a bit. Nothing too crazy here. Same old accessories that we've seen before. I do want to transition to an important topic though. The 6 increments that you can build up the base cabinets, or really all the cabinets with. And I'll refer to the increments as heights, if you will. So this top one's a 1 height, these bottom ones are a 4 height, and there's 2, 1 heights above it. So there's a 3 height here, a 1 height, a 1 height, and a 1 height. And what I did was I ran back and found a 1, 2, and a 3. Just wanted to provide these measurements for you so you know how tall they are. So that way you know, if you configure your kitchen or kind of run inventory on what you have, you can see whether or not it fits. So the bottom one, and I will give you these measurements a bit short because you can then measure it and it gives you a little bit of headroom, a tiny bit of headroom to make sure it clears. So the 3 height, which was the bottom drawer, comes in at about 12.5 inches. The second drawer, which was a 2 height, comes in at about 8.5 inches, maybe even less than that, just for some space. And I don't know if Ikea planned this, but man, that's perfect. And then the 1 height comes in at about 3.25 inches. And mind you, this is with the cool light bars that I like, so that's why I'm giving you those measurements. So in case if you want to add that, you have it. The rest of the video is really just some random ideas. I thought the iPad, rack was pretty cool. This inset of wood against black was kind of cool. I don't know if that's what we'll do. And man, they have a ton of different cabinet faces. You really do have to go and check it out yourself. There is a bunch of different finishes, from like the sheen, the glossiness, to whether it's like a white or an off-white. My camera's not calibrated, it's just my phone camera, so you do need to go in and feel for it yourself and see if you like it, see if you like the feel, the sheen, everything there. But definitely go in and check it out yourself. A couple pointers that I have for you for the faucets is to just stick with the brands that you see at your local big box store, because if they break, you can just go and find parts for them. If there's holes or anything that you got to drill, they'll be consistent with the ones you can buy close by in case of Ikea is far for you. Another item too is double sink versus single sink. Leave a comment if you want my opinion on it. We definitely have a strong opinion on it. We are a double sink family, and I can again do a separate video on that as well. And let me know in the comments if this experience format is helpful at all. Right? The optimized type versions of the videos will be a lot more quick and to the point. This is really more just us walking through it unscripted. And mind you, Ikea is not a sponsor. I just really like the store and wanted to share some thoughts, maybe new perspectives and ideas. This is Optimize and Experience. I hope that we've earned a like and a new subscriber. If you have any questions, ask us in the comments. We are absolutely here to help. And thank you for your time.